Liverpool will have known that Gini Wijnaldum could be moving on for some time, so they've had plenty of time to plan ahead. Reds fans might be concerned that a player as important as Wijnaldum is moving on, but in Thiago Alcantara they may well have already secured his replacement. As explained in a recent piece by Liverpool.com, packing is a statistic more familiar in the Bundesliga, but it captures another level of data beyond things like expected goals. It measures the very thing that Thiago excels at, progressive passing. Essentially, the stat assumes that the fewer players there are between the ball and the opponent's goal, the more likely it is that a goal might be scored by the team in possession. So packing measures the number of opposing players that a pass bypasses and takes out of the game. That's the metric in its most simple terms. There are added elements such as passes beyond the last line of defence being awarded more weight, given of course they would allow a clear run at goal. But put simply, taking players out of the game via passing is the key. That's where Thiago and Naby Keita, who excelled at this during his time in the Bundesliga with RB Leipzig, comes into play. Keita is a player who often plays vertical forward incisive passes into the final third. Thiago does that less obviously, but perhaps with more regularity. The big advantage with him is that he can play keep ball and decisive passes equally well and knows instinctively exactly when each type of pass might be required. This season, Thiago is not at the same level in terms of packing as he was for Bayern Munich, but that's largely down to the disruption in the team around him. But he is averaging 54 bypassed opponents per game, according to data provided to Liverpool.com by Impact, the stats company who created the metric. That figure is more than Jordan Henderson and Kevin De Bruyne, who also rank highly in the Premier League. It's also double that of Ilkay Gundogan, and crucially 3 times more than Gini Wijnaldum. Only Henderson, 9, and De Bruyne, 12.1, have averaged more passes in behind the last line of an opponent's defence than Thiago with 7.4 this season. Wijnaldum, while he's been playing in the number 6 role a fair bit, averages just 2.7, and Thiago has also had to play deeper at times too. In terms of receiving the ball from a teammate, Thiago averages 37 bypassed players this season, some way behind De Bruyne with 56 and Gundogan with 59, but still ahead of all of his Liverpool teammates apart from Curtis Jones. With Fabinho alongside him more consistently next season, and Jordan Henderson too, Thiago's impact should increase in both types of packing even further. Wijnaldum brings other things to the table, some of which simply cannot be measured statistically, but this could at least go some way towards explaining why the Dutchman might be being allowed to move on. In Thiago Alcantara, Liverpool have a player who will become an upgrade.